Shedeur Sanders got his first regular season NFL reps yesterday. And in the 21 hours since then, I think the world has reacted basically how most of us would have absolutely thought. I think a lot of people are just understanding now how NFL practices actually work. I think a lot of people are just understanding now why the Cleveland Browns were essentially telling you they weren't ready yet for Shedeur Sanders to play. And if you don't get it or understand it, I'll try to do that now, plus some other thoughts from yesterday. Browns 3D on the OBR streaming network begins now. Welcome back, my friends, to the show that never ends, your daily delivery of all things Dog Pound Browns 3D on the OBR streaming network. And I am your host, Jeff Lloyd. We appreciate each and every one of you that come to the OBR daily, whether it is for our fantastic written content from our exceptional group of writers at theobr.com. While you're there, highly suggest you look into the insider package, access to the insider forums, ask the insiders, and your subscription gets bundled with Paramount Plus. Only about 6 weeks away before UFC and Paramount Plus join forces, which would allow you to have all the UFC action that you could possibly handle. And for everybody that supports us here at the OBR streaming network, again, we are thankful and grateful for all of you. Beginning every day at 6 p.m., of course, you will have the Gang of Three, Pete, Lane, and of course, Barry McBride after us at 7 o'clock this evening, maybe 7:45. So please make sure you subscribe to the OBR on YouTube and the OBR on Twitch. And if your friends are not, do it for them. Just want to begin real quick. As everybody's been following, of course, Cleveland Browns legend Bernie Kosar did have his transplant surgery today. He is out and recovering. Of course, did find time to put a little bit of a video out on social media. So, all of us here, look, we can disagree on a lot of things when it comes to the Cleveland Browns, but I doubt there's anybody that is in disagreement when it comes to, of course, Mr. Bernie Kosar, what he has meant to this franchise, and the fact that everybody is kind of rooting along with him. So, yesterday. Now, I mentioned, on the pregame show, first off, I am not one that handles daylight savings times well. I'm just going to tell you that right now. Even though it is 1 hour and we are over 2 weeks into this now, this literally just kicks the living crap out of me. I just can't function. It really screws me up. It probably has something to do with the fact that I am somebody that functions better at 5:30 a.m. than somebody who functions at 5:30 p.m. So the sooner it gets dark out, I just want to beat the crap out of myself. I have no other words. So my watch yesterday, normally very involved in social media, I was just sitting back yesterday watching it all unfold. Then I had a feeling how the second half was going to go. It did, in fact, go that way. I had no idea. So, settled into the couch. I normally have a chair a little closer to the TV. And seeing Shedeur and hearing the explanation, and well, all right, business is about to pick back up, and off the couch to the chair, and certainly made, for a different watch yesterday. I think we were all excited watching along and, hoping for the best for Shedeur. It certainly was difficult for Shedeur. And, there's a number of reasons, for that. Maybe when your head coach tells the media week after week after week, we're just not ready. We just don't think he's ready yet. So for everybody who keeps saying, well, why isn't he getting snaps with the ones? If he was getting snaps with the ones, maybe coach would have told you, we think we're getting closer. And as you have heard from a billion people today on social media, this ain't like Pop Warner, man. This ain't like high school. Not everybody gets reps in the NFL. You've had former NFL quarterbacks tell you that each team period is about 10 plays. And if anybody knows QB1s are the stingiest sons of guns there are, and they want to give up nothing. They're masters of craft. They are perfectionists. They don't want anybody taking their snaps. As you've also heard from a lot of other people, Shedeur Sanders is probably doing a lot of scout teamwork, which is usually what QB2s do. So let's not put it on the coach, and let's understand that Shedeur was going into this in a difficult spot. But this is mostly what QB2s do. You don't get to practice with the ones. You practice with your twos and your threes. When you're QB1, you do whatever the hell you want. You're QB1. Now, it came from Jason Lloyd, I believe. And this is stuff I know we were hearing at the OBR as well, because we were always constantly poo-pooing the notion of Shedeur Sanders being on this fast track that I think a lot of you thought, because maybe that's what you wanted to see. We were never led to believe that Shedeur Sanders was on any fast track anyway whatsoever. I think in the beginning, hit his first two passes, it led to nothing. Then, of course, Baltimore picked up the intensity, just like you would do. First time rookie quarterback on the field in an NFL game, I'm bringing a house. I'm bringing 11. Beat me, kid. Show me you can beat me. And they had him a little rocked. There's no question about it. When they got the sack on him, the guys from Baltimore went with the wrists up. I am sure Shedeur is smart enough to know that was going to come back to bite him at some point. NFL guys don't want college guys breaking into the league, kind of having like their own aura and like that. That's a rite of passage. And trust me, they were waiting to get the opportunity on him and obviously waiting to mimic him. It's part of it. It's definitely nothing personal. It is definitely just part of it. Like, yo, kid, slow your roll. Prove yourself. All that being said, I think Shedeur rallied a little bit late. Obviously, the throw to Fannin, big time throw. But you saw within that play that obviously everything went correctly. The offensive line did its job. And there are members of this Cleveland Browns offensive line that I absolutely love as players. And some of them I've certainly had the opportunity to speak with as the years have gone on. Great guys. This unit is not a good unit anymore. This unit is bad. It's just not good in any way whatsoever. I'm not saying they're all over the hill. They are just not the unit they used to be collectively. I mean, Kyle Hamilton stoned Joe Bitonio to stuff a run play yesterday. I know Kyle Hamilton is not your regular run-of-the-mill safety, but Jesus, God, Joe Bitonio is a damn legend in this game. And you saw that yesterday. But Sanders hit the big throw to Fannin. Gage LeVardane, if just maybe a little bit more strength in those hands, you win that tussle, tug of war. And all of a sudden, the conversations today maybe are a lot bit different in regards to Shedeur Sanders and his NFL debut in front of the home crowd against the Baltimore Ravens. Now, all this being said, the way this circumstance is right now, Dillon Gabriel is still in the concussion protocol. The Cleveland Browns are already installing a game plan for Sunday for the Las Vegas Raiders. Right here, right now, they're not going to announce it, nor should they, although until we hear that Dillon Gabriel is out of the protocol, it appears that this will line up this way. Browns need to focus right now, right this second, that Shedeur Sanders is your Sunday starter in Las Vegas. Dillon Gabriel is dealing with his own issues, obviously, with his concussion. In 2023, we were going through this with the Browns. Can Deshaun Watson play this week? Well, there was the Raven game where all of a sudden we found out at 11:30 he couldn't play. Then there were other weeks where, oh, we think he's going to practice today. Oh, we think he's going to practice tomorrow. We're hoping he's going to practice Friday. Oh, well, this guy's going to start. No. Have your quarterback established as the game plan is going in. Shedeur Sanders starts Sunday. No questions asked. Not a knock on Dillon Gabriel. Get healthy. We'll figure out where we're at after Sunday against Las Vegas. But right now, it's eyes on the Raiders and nothing else. And if that's the case, then Shedeur Sanders is my starting quarterback. Now, we'll let the week transpire. We will watch Shedeur Sanders play on Sunday against the Las Vegas Raiders. And then we can kind of speak a little bit more intelligently on it. I tried to tell everyone that whenever Sanders got in there, most likely he was going to struggle. The overall circumstances didn't change. A third-round quarterback was not enough to elevate the offense. A guy that got drafted in the 5th round, probably should have gotten drafted late 2nd, 3rd round, was not going to elevate all the issues this Cleveland Browns offense has. You give him a week as the starter. He gets the Wednesday practice. He gets the Thursday practice. He gets the Friday practice. He gets, as we all and most of you were hearing for the first time ever today, that NFL practices and each drill they run is maybe 10 to 12 reps tops. Shedeur Sanders gets every single one of them this week. And then he's got a puncher's chance to hopefully look better than he did or Dillon Gabriel has to this point. I think it was Rex Ryan who picked on him for sitting on the bench too long after the game. What does that have to do with anything? First things first. It's a terrible thing to say. This young man has obviously been in the spotlight his entire life. Carrying around the last name of Sanders when your dad is Dion is a heavy weight. So the second Shedeur Sanders started playing ball, he already had this weight on his shoulders. His dad was one of the greatest football players of all time. Why do you think so many kids of famous athletes don't even bother playing? I don't want to hear it. I don't want to be compared. Yet Shedeur pursued this hobby activity, which is now turning and is his livelihood. Still inside of him, there's just a kid who had a dream his entire life with every game he played, with every ball he threw, every drill he did, of hopefully one day playing in the NFL. And for Shedeur Sanders, that day was yesterday. That bottle of champagne is popped. So why was he sitting there well after everybody else? There's a million reasons. Probably down on himself because he didn't play as well as he was hoping to. Probably feels bad that he let his teammates down. Probably part of him just soaking in the moment of, I did it. I finally did it. I did it. I made it to the NFL. That is a huge thing for any young player, any young human being, to achieve your ultimate goal. This is stuff we poke jokes at. Ridiculous. Now, Rex, I mean, there is no question. I mean, the way I see it, there is no other option for Sunday. Just play Shedeur Sanders. You don't rush Dillon Gabriel. First off, you don't rush a concussion period. You're not allowed to. You can't. So there's no reason to, you know, go this route. Dillon Gabriel is not your long-term entrenched starter that once he gets the green flag from somebody medical, that all of a sudden he goes right back in and he is your starter. It's not like you have a 7, 8 year starter and he's in concussion protocol and you're just waiting to hear the good news. No, you don't. You have two rookies. It's one or the other. Well, if one of them's in concussion protocol, that means it's the other one. It's not like we're leaving you on the side of the road for dead, kid, but, if you're not gonna be able to play for this and we don't know when you're gonna be able to be available for us, I got a plan that you are not gonna be available to us. Everybody else, if you get your starter back, yeah, you'll drop what the hell you were doing and go back to your starter. Just makes common sense. The game itself yesterday, and it certainly had to do, of course, with the Browns having a lead and the defense being so competitive. And look, the Jets game was an absolute albatross. It was disgusting to watch. It was hurtful to watch. Up until, the final Browns play, I think everybody was pretty much into it, you know, and then, of course, Wyatt Teller screaming for a penalty. Just block the dude, man. Just block the dude. It's not like they called DPI and you had it and it was taken away. Don't be screaming for calls. Make some freaking plays. The amount of plays and calls that get missed in the NFL happens all the time, for the good or for the bad. You got to roll with it, man. And there's no way that one instance late in the game anybody can freaking guarantee was going to change the outcome of said game. You don't know what happened there, but maybe the ugly face affected the camera. But Carson Schlesinger, when do we just stop talking about who this kid is and maybe start talking about what this kid is going to be? I've been saying the last couple of weeks, this is a future captain on this team. We were trying to find ways to get him to Defensive Rookie of the Year, and I think the stat line is going to fall in place for him for that. Pete Smith took me one further yesterday and said, I'm not concerned about that. I'm concerned about Pro Bowl and possibly all pro selections. He is all over the field. He hits, he tackles, he disrupts. He's got a nose for the ball. That one-on-one with Derrick Henry in the hole. You want are you man enough for this league moment? Mano y mano, Derrick Henry in the hole is about as big as it can get at the linebacker position. Schlesinger form tackled him and dropped his ass. And that's not counting all the other stuff. Great form tackler. Great. Gotta have it. Drag him any way you can and get him to the ground tackler. You name it. Carson Schlesinger has it in spades. And he and Devin Bush are a really, really nice linebacker duo. I know so many want to maybe think about a possible, Jeremiah Owusu-Koramoah and Carson Schlesinger linebacking duo. And I'm not going to lie, it's a fun thing to have in your head. Way too early to speculate on if that'll ever be a possibility, of course. And then we get to number 95. And you want to talk about being in the zone, man. Last 4 games, 11 sacks in 4 games. Some lesser defensive ends would probably think that's a pretty decent year. It's a month, bro. 4 weeks. He's had 11 sacks in a month. That's a 49.5 sack pace for a season, bro. That is what he's done over his last 4 games, man. I don't even think he'd pull that off in Madden if he wanted to, bro. He was incredible again. And for all these years, we've talked about trying to get Myles Garrett playing with, it's hard to say Myles Garrett level players, right? Let's compare it more to like the years when the Bulls went on their run and Jordan all of a sudden now had some qualified teammates around him. This is what it looks like for Myles Garrett now in this defensive line. Mason Graham, I'd say the first 6, 7 weeks, finding his way, kind of learning NFL life. That's over, man. The kid has learned where his best ability can find a way to victory for him as far as penetrating backfields. And you can see that light has gone on for Mason Graham. So you've got him out there. You've got Malik Collins, who's been outstanding all year. Isaiah McGuire, who was running hot and then cold, but now Alex Wright's out. So the opportunity opened back up for Isaiah McGuire, who is definitely running hot again. Cam Thomas, who some people wanted to run out of here a week ago, is showing really well right now, yesterday, as your third D end. If I'm the Browns, I would have no problem bringing back both Alex Wright and Cam Thomas and just saying, you know what? I got my 4 D ends for next year. And why I won't mess with it is because I am so stinking deep on the interior with Collins, Graham, Hall, Shelby Harris for the rest of this year, most likely, and Aiden Huntington. When the news first broke last week that Alex Wright was going to be out and Browns were going to be light at the end, message Pete Smith and like, all right, well, your boy's going to have to play some D end. And Pete, well, maybe. You think he can do it? And of course, Pete, he can definitely do it. He can do it. We'll see if that's the plan or the attack that the Browns are going to choose. Oh, they chose. And you saw Huntington was able to give you some quality reps out there as well. Mike Hall, first sack of the season yesterday. And you're starting to see the mobility round into shape. And you're starting to see Mike Hall run more direct and precise, showing more confidence in that knee. A lot of people had asked why they thought the snap count was so low against the New York Jets. My honest belief, that field is garbage. And the Cleveland Browns didn't really want Mike Hall's knees anywhere near it. But you get to see these guys who are good and getting better playing with the Jordan of NFL pass rush. And with Myles, it's crazy to talk about a guy like Myles Garrett and all he has done in his time in the league and use the words improvement and you're getting better. Like to even say those things about a guy like Myles Garrett just absolutely wows you to say. But it's the truth. You know, Myles in his early days was so athletic, was so quick, was so fast. if he got to the quarterback and the quarterback stepped up, Miles was moving so fast, so quickly, he almost kind of got himself taken out of the play. Now it's the anticipation to see the quarterback about to step up and him basically break his rush to kind of then go into a trail to where the quarterback is or where the quarterback is headed, or getting interior pass rush from Mason Graham, from Mike Hall, from Malik Collins, from Shelby Harris, whoever it is. And now Myles Garrett might get a cleanup sack or two, getting them TJ Watt. Oh, the quarterback sat on my thigh pads and I put him down, and 22 sacks. You ain't ever been Myles Garrett. You will never be Myles Garrett, TJ Watt. But you see Myles now getting gimmies and shippies. Mind blowing. Mind blowing. 7 games to go. 7 games to go. Find a way together. 8, 9. It's could be a really special year in Cleveland. And that's one of the biggest reasons. That is the biggest reason. Offensively, it's just really hard to talk about and have any like real, true feelings. Other than the young rookie quarterbacks we know are not ready. The offensive line is, I love you fellas, garbage. They're just not very good, man. So to evaluate, the run game, evaluate the receivers, extremely impossible to do, man. I've been the one that's told you basically since this team was headed to camp last year, none of it matters. This quarterback room doesn't matter. It doesn't matter that Joe Flacco's here. It doesn't matter that Kenny Pickett's here. It doesn't matter that Dillon Gabriel is here. It does not matter that Shedeur Sanders is here. All it is window dressing until April of 2025. 2026, rather. Doesn't matter. And there was nothing any of these guys could have ever have done to stop the inevitable selection, extremely high, of a quarterback in the 2026 NFL draft. And it's still early. He's going back to school. I'm going to tell you right now, as these weeks and these games of importance pick up for Mendoza, who we all believe is going, Simpson, Dante Moore, the more and the longer they play, the more they win, the more the eyes are on them, the more they start having conversations with their agents where the words 35 million guaranteed come into the conversation. You all can love the college campus you're on, but nobody in their right mind should ever turn down that money. There is nowhere to go but down for a Dante Moore. Ty Simpson, son of a college coach, waited 3 whole years in Tuscaloosa to get your opportunity. And now you're going to be in a position where most likely you'll be selected as a top 10 selection in the NFL draft. You ain't going back to school. You're going after the money. It'll certainly be an interesting week here as, Shedeur watch obviously is on full effect. And again, if Dillon's still in protocol as of this time on Monday, that's it. It's over. Shedeur, you're my starter this week. Dillon can worry about getting better, and Shedeur can worry about prepping for the Las Vegas Raiders. Simple. That's all you got to do. We'll see you here tomorrow. Obviously, some more stuff. Make sure you're around a little later tonight. Barry McBride, Lane Atkins, Pete Smith, the gang of 3. For all that come out to the OBR.com every day for the written content, thank you from the bottom of our hearts. While you were there, look into the insider package, insider forums, ask the insiders, have that subscription bundled with Paramount Plus. And for so many of you that join us here nightly on the OBR streaming network, A, we could not be more thankful. B, none of this happens without you. So if you were not yet, please do so. Subscribe to the OBR on YouTube, subscribe to the OBR on Twitch, and get your friends in the right direction for the correct Cleveland Browns knowledge that they need. This has been your daily delivery of all things Dog Pound Browns 3D on the OBR streaming network. And we will talk to you all tomorrow.